Hello and welcome to another tutorial on Yearbook in InDesign. In this tutorial I will teach you how to create placeholders for portrait pictures and other elements, as well as how to fit things and pictures into placeholders proportionally, and how to organize your portrait pictures using different tools. So why don't you go ahead and open up InDesign. I already have mine opened up because it would take too long if I just opened it up right now. And here's my spread. So what I want to do is I want to create a placeholder for a photograph I took. So a placeholder is basically a frame that serves as a place indication of where my photograph will eventually go. So what I need to do is I need to go to this panel right here where we learned how to create shapes from, and you click on the image which has a shape in it that has a cross through it. So you click on that and you make a shape, and that is called a placeholder. It has an X through it, and it has nothing in it. So what I can do is I can drag this placeholder anywhere I want. Of course, if I want a different shape as a placeholder, I need to click Control click, and here it gives me an ellipses or a polygon. I want to stick to a square though. So after this has been imported, I can put anything, any picture in here. I just need to drag it in. But what I want to do actually is I'm going to delete this for now. I want to put in a portrait picture. In the slug, I fortunately already have the size of the portrait picture that was used last year. And I want to use this placeholder, but I don't want to move it anywhere. I want to just create a different one. So I'm not going to copy and paste. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over it, press Alt and keep holding it, click and drag. And that creates the identical copy, and you can just place it anywhere. So that's my portrait picture right here. So what I want to now do, it's my placeholder, I want to now put in a portrait picture. So I'm going to go out of the document and have a beautiful portrait picture of Brad Pitt right here. So I'm just going to click on it, I'm going to drag it into the document, into the placeholder, and there we go. But as you notice, we only see a little bit of his head, and that's a problem. What happens when you drag pictures in is that they may be bigger than the actual placeholder. So you need to go in, you need to select the shape, the placeholder, the portrait picture, and you Control click, and it gives you a bunch of options, and you need to go to fitting, and you press fill frame proportionally. Now, you see, you have the portrait picture of Brad Pitt, all of it, and it fits perfectly. Now, of course, in a yearbook spread, you're going to have a couple portrait pictures next to each other. So, again, let's do Alt, click, drag, let's just drag them all over the place like that. There, we have 5 portrait pictures of Brad Pitt. So what you want to do is you want to order them in one line. And it really takes too long when you just select one and try to move it. So you just select all of them at the same time. And what you do is you can go up here, and it helps you order them. You hover over it you can hover over these options to see what it lets you do. So what I want to do is I want to align horizontal centers. That gives me the one portrait picture. It aligns all the horizontal centers. But I don't actually want that. I want to distribute. No. Hold on. I want to. Whoops. Okay, no, we need to go back. So Apple Z. There we go. We have all these portrait pictures. You select all of them again. And you want to distribute. We want to align the vertical centers. There we go. By aligning the vertical centers, you're basically putting all the portrait pictures on one line. Now, what you want to do is, again, you probably want to move these portrait pictures into a place where they won't be just hanging out in the middle of the page. So again, select all of them, and you press this button, and it aligns them perfectly. use the arrows to move them further. Now, they don't have the exact spacing that I want between them, so I need to select all of them again and go up here, and this actually helps me align the horizontal centers as well. So right here, distribute horizontal centers. And now I have them aligned on one line and proportionally as well. You can do this with text boxes, like names, for example, under the portrait pictures, and it's really helpful because it really helps you order the shapes better. Also, when you want to import a background, you of course need to create a placeholder. So why don't we delete all these Brad Pitts, because we really don't need them anymore. And you click on another placeholder. You just make a shape. In order to have a background, unless you want a plain white background, in which case you don't do anything, you need to create a placeholder, and you need to drag it all the way up to the bleed, to the red line. And you need to make sure the shape goes all around the bleed, like that. So you drag it, drag it, drag it, all the way. So now your placeholder is in the entire document. And I have chosen a beautiful black wooden background that I want to drag in. So I drag that in. Again, you may notice that the picture, here, there you go, the picture doesn't fit proportionally. So again, we could do Control, click, fit into frame proportionally. However, there is a shortcut for this, and once you get more familiar with Adobe InDesign, this shortcut is really helpful. So you just click, you make sure you click on the frame and the entire background, and you press at the same time Shift, Alt, Command, C. And there you go. It puts the entire frame, it makes sure the image you just put in fits into the frame of the placeholder proportionally. And that's pretty much it for creating placeholders. Thank you for listening.